G'day everyone, it's Mike from Battlefield Accessories here. I'm pretty excited tonight to launch our new tabletop ready dungeon tile system. So this is similar to our existing plain MDF system, except the tiles come pre-coloured. Okay, so same sturdy MDF construction, slightly different corner locking mechanism which makes them a little bit easier to use, right, and quite a lot easier to construct. So this video I'm going to take you through how to construct, give you some shots of what you actually see when the dungeon tile set is constructed, and show you some of the add-ons that we also have to go with it. So what do you get in the tabletop ready dungeon tiles? Well, to start with, you get a ton of floor tiles. Then you get doorways with doors that slide in so as you can easily reveal the action happening inside. Then you get boxed columns. These allow you to join your walls and to make corners. Get these nice crossover corners where you have four walls meeting in a place. And then of course you get walls. Lots of walls. Walls based on a 1 inch grid, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch and up to 5 inch walls. A huge mound of pre-painted, ready to assemble dungeon tiles. So there's the pile of tabletop ready dungeon tiles starter set. If you add on the DM expansion, you add more columns, more floor tiles, in fact many more floor tiles, a stack of more walls. More doorways, and of course a ton more columns. A mound of dungeon tiles for any dungeon master to create any dungeon they want. Now for construction, please make sure you have some white glue, Aquid here, handy, PVA glue. I'm going to start with building a standard wall. So I've got my sprue sheet. I'm just going to break out the walls that are appropriate. And so you can see I've got these two walls here. Now they actually mirror onto each other, right? And so when you've got them together, you have a spike on either end, and you have a 2-inch wall section. Those spikes sink into the floor tile. And so in terms of actual construction, small amount of glue there. Push it down and give it a run around. Make sure that it's square. These sides here are together. And then a small bead of glue on the base. Now, the amount that I've put there is probably a little bit too much, so I'm going to use a piece of the sprue that I'm discarding to take a little bit of that off. And then I'm going to stand this up and push it down. Now a little bit of glue there is okay because it's going to dry clear, or I can get my trusty piece of sprue or an old paintbrush and just run that along to take that off. Or use my finger, of course. Okay, that's now done. And so you can see that wall's sitting, perfectly painted. Construction, as you can see, takes you maybe 10 seconds. Next piece is a column. The column consists of 2 narrow walls and 2 slightly wider walls, and a top and a bottom. Now these pieces are what you might call universal. Okay, so the top is coloured, right? The underside, the bottom is not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the top over. And trap for young players here, just check that that doesn't have printing on the other side. On these pieces is a wider section. I'm going to put glue on that wider section. These look a little bit like the old traditional Space Invader. I'm going to take my wall, my wider wall, which has got double spikes at top and bottom. I'm going to stand it up in the bottom and then grab the top bit and put it in. And so you can see now I've got colour on the top. I'm then going to grab my narrow wall and go off to the side and put that in place. So if I show you, it looks like this now. While it's still standing up, grab my wider wall, working my way around, and then finally my end. Right, give that just a squeeze together, and there's my corner column done. The final piece that I need to worry about is my doorway pieces. Going to get the bits out for you. So the doorway consists of a base, 2 open walls, and then the door surround. And so there's the surrounds, there's the wall sections, and there's the base. To make this work, I'm going to put a line of glue up each side of that. Again, like I was doing before, pushing around. Now I've been put way too much glue on this here, so make sure you give that a clean up before I put it in. Now the doorways, whilst you'll be super tempted once you've put a doorway together to drop the door on it straight away, this is really one of those things we actually need to wait and let the doorway dry. When this piece goes over the top, you'll see that it overlaps just slightly onto the inside bit. And so in terms of gluing it, glue around the base, and this is going to come along and slot itself in there. And again, I've been too heavy with the glue. And then a very small amount of glue, oops, nothing like that. Right, so I'm going to take a heap of that off and I'm going to run it down the other side. I'm not going across the top because that top section there is actually going to be where that joint is there, so it's not actually going to be in contact with anything. And then I'm going to push those 2 bits together. So I've managed to pick glue up on both of them. And then I'm going to stand them up in the two little holes that are provided in the base. And then I'm going to squeeze those together, make sure they're nice and flat. One thing I will suggest with all of these, just make sure they're standing up square, right? Because they could, like if you were very sloppy with it, they could lean over like that. Now, it's perfectly obvious that that's no good, right? So just make sure you stood them up nice and square. Right. A clothes peg is also sometimes useful just to clamp those in, but you can see they're clamping beautifully. So, column, wall, and doorway. The one final thing to show you is a door. The doors, of course, are double-sided printed, so there's nothing more to show you. You break that out and drop it in, but remember to let this dry first. So there you have it, nothing to it, construction of our dungeon tile set. I would say a beginner set probably will take you between 20 and 30 minutes to put together. If you're super careful, it might take you up to an hour, but I think you're probably looking more like half an hour. So this is our floor tile special. It contains a series of specialist tiles that you might have in your dungeon. 3 pit traps, 2 stairwells, a trapdoor, a magical symbol, a slightly slimy pond, and underground chasms, rivers, and lava tunnels, plus some boards to help you with getting over those obstacles. Each of these tiles comes out and fits into our existing system. So for example, I can pull that tile out, put that tile. So whatever is our party to do, faced with the river of lava, luckily the DM's provided us some trusty planks so we can get across. So the floor tile special pack comes with 2 river tiles, 3 chasms, 2 lava rivers, 2 stairs, 3 pits, a pond, trapdoor, magical symbol, and 2 wooden planks. So to populate your dungeons, you'll need some furniture. So we offer 2 furniture packs. This is furniture pack 1. Bit hard to see what it looks like from here. The furniture pack 1 translates into 3 double beds with sheets that you can arrange as you like, 3 single beds, 3 sets of a table and benches, and 3 round tables and 12 chairs to go with those tables. Perfect for dungeon tiles, but also for some skirmish type war games as well. Furniture pack 2 translates into 4 bookshelves. Perfect for that library, wizard's lair, noble's residence. A table with documents and maps, some tall hall runner tables, and a large chair, which maybe you might want to use as a throne.